1.1.0, the enhanced editions just released today for Stalker, and it's not off to a great start, especially considering the fact that the downvotes are the second highest emote. Although that's not really much to go off of, but it is a good idea of community dissent. Anyway, the reason for the enhanced editions patch to be rated like that, there's only fixes. There's not anything actually added to this like you would expect from an actual major patch, you know what I mean? But let's take a look. Stalkers, today we are ready to share patch 1.1 for Stalker Legends of the Zone Trilogy Enhanced Edition. The main focus of this patch is fixing crashes and save file issues across all titles. Okay, let's see what you got. Fixed save loading issue for the Asian region localizations. Stability improvements. Fixed multiple crashes on all platforms. Fixed issue that caused the game to crash while looking up at the rainy sky. Fixed issue that caused the title to crash while eating or using items from the corpse's inventory. That's a classic one for sure. Corrected misspelling and naming issues in several localizations and all titles. Fixed sound scattering issues that caused incorrect indoor-outdoor transition. Fixed misleading description for crouching options for Ukrainian localization. Fixed several incorrect icons and dialog logs. Fixed indistinctive pop-up with information about unsupported hardware, and fixed user interface issues that allowed users to turn on FSR and anti-aliasing simultaneously. Now on to Shadow of Chernobyl. Fixed noticeable transition in shadow casting. Fixed performance drop issue on Agriprom. Medkit and Bandit hotkeys are now set to F1 and F2 accordingly, but users are able to change them. In Clear Sky, there's only 3. Fixed audio stuttering on swamps. Screen's place reflections is fixed at the hospital, and fixed issue with inability to save the game in Polish. For color appropriate, there's only 1. Fixed drop multiple items user interface issue with incorrect slider size. And that's it. So if you're expecting a really huge, amazing patch, it has a million different changes. It actually might have some changes apart from some fixes, or there could be some improvement. Like it's the first major patch of a game. You know what I mean? Like it's the launch patch. Contrast. Let's take a look here. Patch 1.01 for Stalker 2. Thank you for your passionate support. It's very important to us. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But let's take a look, man. This is our first fixed patch that addressed over 650 different bugs and issues. AI fixes, optimization fixes, more than 20 different issues with AI. Audio and sound fixes. We fixed approximately 100 different crashes, including potential memory leaks. Balance adjustments. Combat balance. Okay, look at this. Gamepad input, characters, cutscenes, game settings and menus, interactable objects, main and side missions, open world experience. You can't really, you can't do much about this in the older games, but still. Player guidance, gear and weapons, voiceover and facial animations, and world. And I mean, look at that, man. That was like 10 or 15 different things I named right there, man. That's crazy. That is an actual patch. Although, of course, they probably have a bigger team working on this. Like more people dedicated to it and whatnot, as opposed to the enhanced editions, because there really wasn't anything compared to this. Like this is probably at least 100, maybe 150 lines right here of just stuff that is written, man. I mean, look at this. Actually, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but there's a lot of stuff written here as opposed to 14 things that are all fixes for the enhanced edition. Now, if we go to the actual little thread about it that Mala does, well, this isn't McCulkin this time. They always send something out, okay? Let's see what they say. We got a fan favorite here, Billy Willie. Within a few script files, xr_sound.update should be executed before xr_logic update, so signals are not lost, based on Decane's fix from SRP. So in other words, they're using Sky Reclamation Project. Nice to see the community fixes are being added, even if it's just a single fix so far. But for version 1.1, this is extremely underwhelming. Anyway, there is a silver lining here because they are using Reclamation Project, although I'm not really sure why they haven't used Pripyat or Shadow of Chernobyl yet, but I mean, if it's going to be used sparingly and with purpose, then why not, right? Yeah. See what this guy said. They should just fully include all the patch packs from ZRP and SRP, putting the authors in the credits. I don't know why they don't, because some of the issues they're having are vanilla glitches, like vanilla bugs that are still there because it's the same game being carried over. You know what I mean? So it would make sense to me to carry over the community fixes because they work, man. And look, they're even crediting them to Kane's fix. So they obviously have no issue with taking it. They're not appropriating it as their own. They're not doing anything untoward with it. So you know what I mean. Okay, we're off to a bit of a rocky start. Stalker 2 was itself also off to a bit of a rocky start, although it had a little bit of a better foundation. This year is honestly kind of deplorable, if you ask me, because this is a minor patch, like a 1.02, 04, 05. This is not a 1.1, 1.2, 1.5 even. Okay, this is not a major patch. The decimal points do not line up here. It's definitely disappointing, but hopefully we will be off to a better start. We will recover from this. To me, it says they don't have as many people working on it, or it's on the back burner compared to Stalker 2, which I guess it rightfully should be. It shouldn't have released like this to begin with, but we can't really say that, can we? Because they outsourced it. But as long as Stalker 2 is like the highest priority, they can have other things going on. They might want to make another Cossacks game or some shit. They're a game studio. They're always going to be doing multiple things. They got this on the back burner, Stalker 2 in the forefront. All right, man, fuck it. But it would have been nice to see just a little bit more come out of a major patch. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna say, considering GSC's track record so far, it's my opinion that we're not going to see anything right away. We will see something maybe within a few weeks, a few months. It's not going to be an immediate overnight fix, especially with it being on the back burner, as it so clearly is, unless they give it a little bit more attention. So if you've been looking to play the enhanced editions, you just bought Stalker 2 for the first time, and you're like, wow, I want to see the real inspiration behind this, where it comes from, the real gritty roots of the series. Maybe buy the enhanced editions and don't even just play them. Play the originals first, and then if you really want to, play the enhanced editions and see just how much of a difference there is, because there is a difference, and it's not really in a good way. I mean, there are some fixes now that are bad, but mostly it's not great, okay? And the community also says that it isn't great. And they're saying it in multiple different forms on multiple different websites. So it isn't unwarranted. Besides, you really should be playing original vanilla anyway to get that first real true experience. But that's really my opinion. Everybody that joins the soccer community nowadays probably just plays Soccer 2 in Anomaly, so you know what I mean? It's actually really sad to see, because it's almost a half and half on whether or not somebody's played the original games vanilla by themselves without mods, and then versus whether it's with a mod, because I mean, nobody wants to play old, outdated garbage anymore. You know what I mean? And that's not my perspective. That is the average gamer's perspective that just comes into this series and like, damn, these old games look like shit, man. Maybe I should download the enhanced editions. So it's really hard to say. Of course, everything's not going to be like that. It should really be a case by case, person by person basis. I'm not trying to make generalizations here. I'm just saying that these things can do and will happen. But about the patches, yeah, there's going to be some gradual changes. It's not going to be an overnight thing, just like Stalker 2 itself. And considering all the manpower that thing has, and it's still on the slow up and up, and people still think it's a year out from now, I would say you're probably gonna have to wait like at least 6 months, maybe 3 months for enhanced to look even just a little bit better, maybe like halfway better. I'm giving you those are rough estimates, man. I'm not a developer. I'm not a fucking producer or publisher, man. But considering the numbers and how we're being treated and what GSC is doing, there you go, man. Think about it yourself.